This is WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington.
Good evening, I'm Sam Dick. Welcome to WKYT News at 6:30 live here on the CW Lexington. Of course, it's Friday, and many of you perhaps are heading out to high school football game shortly or the blue-white game at Rupp Arena. We'll have an update on the weather situation tonight from Mr. Jim Caldwell coming up in just a minute or two. Trending right now, Lexington police investigating a shooting that injured 2 people last night. Police believe several people tried to rob some people in a home in the Red Mile Road area about 8:30 last night. That story is on the most clicked on right now on WKYT.com, followed by a Georgia student getting his leg amputated after being body slammed by a behavior specialist. And the NCAA charging Louisville head basketball coach Rick Pitino with failure to monitor the basketball program in that escort case. Here's what we're following right now at 6:30. A grand jury has indicted a Boyle County teenager in the death of her stepmother, 15-year-old Jenna Oakley, now charged with murder. Oakley was reported missing after her stepmother's body was found last month. WKYT's Phil Pendleton will have the latest developments on that. A Laurel County police officer injured in a crash this morning. Investigators say the officer crashed during a chase along Rebecca Lane in London. We'll have the latest on the officer's condition and more on exactly what happened. And it's been 8 years and counting. An update on the Centerpoint project in downtown Lexington. Developers have filed revised plans for that project. We talked to developer Dudley Webb about the new changes. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is along for the ride tonight. Thank you, sir, for being with us. He even got the coat off, a la Chris Bailey.
That's his rule. That's the only rule he has.
The coat has to come off at 6:30. All right, so it sounds like for the most part, the rain has disappeared, at least for the Lexington area for tonight. Is that right?
That's right, but we'll keep the chill around for everybody. The folks out in eastern Kentucky will be dealing with better chances of showers. Now, these are not off the chart kind of chances. We're just dealing with some rain showing up out there. So overall, we're looking at a pretty quiet evening. Now, on our sky cam, you can see the clouds that have been with us for most of the day are still out there right now. It's 55 degrees in Lexington. It's even cooler where the clouds and rain have been pretty persistent through the day today. That would be into eastern Kentucky, where they find themselves in the upper 40s and also low 50s with a few showers kind of straggling around that area. High school football, that's what Sam was talking about. A stray shower to our east here in central Kentucky. Pretty quiet. Just on the chilly side, temperatures continue to drop. 49 degrees by halftime in many cases out there, and then we're probably into the mid-40s by the time we wrap up the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe some spots just a touch cooler than that trying to show up in some of those locations out there. But all in all, a pretty quiet evening for most of us. There you see that rain I was mentioning that's hanging out into eastern Kentucky. Just a few showers remaining. And here's that little clear slot that actually showed up here into Lexington a little while ago. That's why we were seeing a little more sunshine briefly, but now the clouds will start to increase and we'll see that kind of change up, at least off and on throughout the rest of the evening. Now, as we go into the overnight, though, that's when the skies will completely clear, and that could allow those temperatures to drop well into the 30s, probably mid and upper, showing up across parts of Kentucky. I'll break all of that down to the full forecast coming up for you in just a few minutes, Sam.
Thank you, Jim. Nearly 2 months after a woman was found dead in her Boyle County home, a grand jury has now indicted her 15-year-old stepdaughter for the murder. Jenna Oakley faces charges as an adult in this case. Police say that they found her in New Mexico with her boyfriend after the murder. WKYT's Phil Pendleton talks to Oakley's father. It's our top story at 6:30.
The prosecutor calls it a capital crime. A 52-year-old woman found murdered in her Junction City home and her car stolen. On Thursday, a grand jury returned the indictment the suspect's father expected all along.
The whole time I knew who did this, and so no, it's not a surprise. You know, I just want her to get what she deserves.
Jenna Oakley is charged with both the murder of her stepmother, Rhonda Oakley, and the theft of the car that police say she and her 20-year-old boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, were found in some 1,200 miles away in New Mexico. Philip Oakley says he wants justice and for his daughter to be punished.
You know, I have no remorse for whatever happens to Jenna. She deserves everything she gets.
Jenna Oakley is in a juvenile holding facility somewhere in Kentucky. She will be arraigned on November 1st in Boyle Circuit Court. The teenager's 20-year-old boyfriend remains on life support. Police there say that he tried to kill himself in jail. Oakley says that he did see signs of possible trouble early on.
There were people that knew things as far as between Kenny and Jenna that I talked to, and I tried to get help, and nobody did anything.
The prosecutor says he can't comment on a motive. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The prosecutor calls Jenna Oakley's boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, a person of interest in the case. He does not expect anyone else to be charged. Lexington police have named a suspect in connection to a home invasion that ended with 2 people being shot. Police say they have obtained an arrest warrant for 20-year-old Demetrion Boaz. He's facing a robbery charge. Police say about 8:30 last night, multiple people forced their way into a home on Red Mile Road as part of a drug-related robbery. During that robbery, police say a 19-year-old suspect and a 22-year-old who was trying to protect a friend in the home were both shot. Both of them are still in the hospital. Police say the 19-year-old is also facing a robbery charge. Laurel County Sheriff's deputies have arrested a man they say tried to kill his father-in-law. They say that 35-year-old Shane Anders lives in a home with his wife and her father, who has health issues. And deputies say when a home care nurse came to the home this morning, she found an oxygen cord wrapped around the father's neck, and she had to use scissors to cut it. They say Anders had made multiple threats towards his father-in-law, and deputies say he also assaulted his wife last night. Police charged Anders with attempted murder, wanton endangerment, and assault. And quite a scene as a woman who was pinned underneath a car that ran into the AT&T store on South Broadway last night is out of the hospital. A driver told police her brakes went out and her car crashed into the front of a store, hitting a woman inside. The woman was not seriously injured and even returned to the store a few hours later to get her car.
Yeah, she came back probably 3 hours after the incident, and she was walking, and she said she had a bump on her head, and she was all right.
Very lucky. The AT&T store is back open today. Crews spent much of the morning cleaning up the damage. Final repairs are not expected to be completed until sometime next week. A police officer recovering after being injured during a chase in Laurel County. It happened about 10 this morning on Rebecca Lane, just outside of London near the Hal Rogers Parkway in Kentucky 192. Police say it began with reports of a man threatening a business. WKYT's Hillary Thornton has more.
29-year-old Christopher Gaines now facing a long list of charges, including wanton endangerment of a police officer, all starting this morning with a call from his former employer.
To a complaint on West 4th Street of a subject who was a little bit out of control, and the people there at the business was actually going to terminate him. Officers getting to Universal Linen Service, Gaines seeing them and taking off. He directed his car in the direction of the officer, forcing the officer to jump out of the way.
Investigators say that high-speed chase then went into the parking lot of a busy shopping center, going right past the main entrance to Walmart.
Once I went into the shopping center, I could hear them on the radio saying, you know, they're just going around different places, Tractor Supply. They actually circled the parking lot of Walmart and behind Walmart.
An officer trying to block Gaines when he intentionally hit that cruiser, causing this damage before continuing back onto Kentucky 192, reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour.
We come up to the Hal Rogers Parkway. He chose to cross it and go up Rebecca Lane.
It was there officers say he failed to stop, crashing into this barrier, then running from the vehicle.
Officers bailed out of the car, chased after the gentleman on foot.
During that foot pursuit, K-9 officer Greg Turner was injured.
He was trying to clear a ditch. Everything was wet and slick, and he lost his footing, fell on his left shoulder.
However, getting back up, able to eventually catch Gaines.
After the adrenaline rush came off, he realized, hey, I'm hurt.
Officer Turner then taken to the hospital with a shoulder injury and broken hand. His K-9 Tyson remained in the vehicle and was not hurt. In London, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
An off-duty sheriff's deputy's personal vehicle was also damaged in that chase. And we're just learning that former U.S. Senator Jim Bunning of Kentucky suffered a stroke this week. In a release from the family, we're told that Senator Bunning was taken to the hospital Tuesday night. He's still recovering at a medical facility up in northern Kentucky, but we're told he is improving. Jim Bunning is 84 years old. He served as U.S. Senator from 1999 to 2011. The University of Kentucky is changing the way it gives out financial aid. Right now, much of the university's financial aid is based on grades and test scores. But starting next school year, it will focus more on students with financial need. A university report revealed that students who had high levels of financial need and performing well in their classes were not continuing their education. UK's provost says it was a problem they've been working to solve for more than 6 months.
We believe it will get us to our goal of 70% of our students graduating in 6 years and 90% of our students coming back for that second year.
He says the new plan will use federal standards to determine if a student qualifies for more scholarship money based on the student's merit and financial needs. The changes will be in effect next year and will not impact students who were already awarded a scholarship. New plans filed for Centerpoint in downtown Lexington. We talked to developer Dudley Webb today about what's in store for this project that's now going on 8 years. That story's in less than 3 minutes on WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington. And more than 15,000 people expected to attend the Wildcats Blue-White game tonight. Dave Baker joins me later in sports with the Buzz to talk about the annual scrimmage. Welcome back on this Friday to WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington. An update now on the Centerpoint project in downtown Lexington. Developers have filed revised plans for the project. There are not many changes involving the businesses inside Centerpoint, but developers are making some changes to the apartments in the plans. Now the apartments will be placed above the office building, which is planned to go on the corner of Limestone and Main Street. Some people say the progress is a long time coming.
You know, it's been there for a really long time, and I was just hoping to see some progress by now.
Other plans include 2 hotels, an office tower, a restaurant, and a retail space. And it has been 8 years since they started developing that piece of property. To help us break down the news, we also talked today to developer Dudley Webb himself. He says the little changes will still have a big impact on the city of Lexington.
The project is pretty much the same. We're merely moving the condominiums and the apartment residences over atop the office building. The architects, the planners, finally came back and concluded it's much more efficient to do it atop of an office building because of the size of the floors. In actuality, it's much easier, much more efficient to build atop the office building because of the large floor plates than atop the hotels. So consequently, a decision was made. It was much cheaper, as a matter of fact, to put it there versus on the other side. They're all over it right now, and in the next 4 months, you're going to see the garage levels rise up, and then there'll be a flat slab in place, and then the towers will go on up above the flat slab. The garage will be about 7 months. The project should be open in the spring of 2018. It's a huge impact. It's the $200 million still. It's the largest project ever undertaken in Fayette County, particularly with the private sector. It's a huge impact. It creates jobs. It does wonderful things for the tourism and convention communities. And it'll be a real milestone for downtown Lexington. It'll be a landmark. I think it's even better. I think that it's evolved, and it's going to be really exciting. It'll be a great thing for downtown. Yeah.
And you can join the conversation by leaving your comments on WKYT.com or on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. All right, I'm joined by meteorologist Jim Caldwell filling in for Chris Bailey, who's doing, well, we're not sure what, but we hope he's relaxing.
You know, it's blue-white game night. I don't know.
He's smart. He's on the rub.
2 and 2 add, you know,
yeah.
we put them together.
It's cold.
Buzz
says he's celebrating because it's cold.
That sounds about right,
He is
too.
a winter guy, isn't he?
He loves that winter.
He named his daughter Winter.
That tells you how devoted he is to the season.
Yeah. All right. This time of year, as you know, you're probably in the same boat as I am. You're going to start to think about maybe turning down the thermostat and turning that heat on, Jim. Mm-hmm. But as you folks are doing that out there, remember that as you're messing with your thermostat, get involved in your HVAC system, there could be some potential problems. Obviously, the last thing you want is a potential carbon monoxide leak. So you need to have an expert come out, check it out, make sure everything's ready to go, because you know, we're going to go back and forth, I think, seesaw with these temperatures the next few weeks, maybe. That's the kind of thing that happens in Kentucky. Is that right?
That's absolutely what's going to happen. You know, we're going to be chilly out there tonight. We're going to end up in the 30s. And then by Sunday, you're going to be like, well, I need to have the air on or nothing at all. So we're going to go kind of back and forth here. So you get this time of year, you get everything in the world possibly in your vents because we're at a period where we don't run it a lot. I've been running my air a lot, you know, even during these hot days. So you get a little bit of a buildup. So have them come out, clean, check things up. And, of course, your air filters as well this time of year as well. You're supposed to do it even more often than that, depending on the type of filter you have. But just keep that in mind. Kentucky camps across Kentucky, it is a gorgeous evening out there, even with the cloud cover and the chill starting to filter in. We are in the low and mid-50s across Kentucky here on this evening, where elsewhere you're going to find a little different shade You see this blue showing up in eastern Kentucky? That takes us to a whole new level. That takes us down into the 40s for folks into Pike County. So we certainly have the chill already showing up. The reason they're there and we are not is we got out of that rain. They still have thick cloud cover and showers. So any high school football game that might be going on anywhere between Breathitt and Perry County, Magoffin County, Floyd, you run the risk of running into a shower chance, all in that little corner of Kentucky. Now, an area of low pressure is still keeping the moisture alive, and what this low is going to do is it's going to tap into moisture from the Great Lakes overnight and into the early morning hours, and could possibly into West Virginia, not here in Kentucky, but into West Virginia, the highest elevations. This is something Chris Bailey loves to see showing up. As Dave was saying a minute ago, that right there, that wintry precipitation. So it's that close to us. Now, we're at a high elevation there, but still, the fact that it's here certainly shows you that we are going through a big-time transition. We get into Sunday, and as I mentioned a minute ago, we are all the way back into the mid and upper 60s, right around 70 degrees, like nothing at all happened, like the front that came through and brought this chill didn't exist at all, with overnight lows probably dropping off here tonight into the mid and upper 30s, just depending on your location and on the cloud cover as well. So a very chilly start as we go into your Saturday morning. Now, we look at our 7-day forecast. It's going to reveal one just downright cool day. That's tomorrow. 57 for your high. By the time folks get out to Commonwealth Stadium, it's going to be a very different story as we start going into the 40s by that point for many folks. And the other issue, I think, for tomorrow, Sam, will be the gusty winds, 15, 20 miles per hour. While that doesn't sound like a lot, when you're dealing with chilly temperatures, it'll certainly make it feel a whole lot worse.
Trying to picture sitting there in that stadium and that wind like you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're all in the shade by that time because it's 7:30, so be ready for it.
All right. Thank you, my man. It is a big night at Rupp Arena for the Cats and, of course, the fans. Dave Baker joins me next in the Sports Buzz. Time now for the Sports Buzz. Each night, we talk with Dave Buzz Baker for an inside look at what's going on. I've always wanted to go to the blue-white scrimmage, but I'm always stuck working. I love my job, but...
How about we get Chris to cover for you next year?
Chris Mossman?
No, Chris Bailey.
Oh, Chris Bailey.
That would have him in here on a Friday, and then you could go to the game, right?
I like that.
Okay.
So I'm curious, how intense do the scrimmage get? Do the players really go at it pretty hard?
They really do. It's their first chance to play. I mean, last week, the Big Blue Madness, I keep wanting to say Midnight Madness, it was all about showing everything, but they can play. And what's going to happen tonight, the interesting thing, I think, is that John Calipari is going to be putting different guys together and see how they play well with each other. Some combinations don't mix. Some combinations really mix. And guys have the opportunity to put up some big numbers. I mean, if you remember, Terrence Jones scored a blue-white record 52 to go along with 16 rebounds and 11-12. John Wall had 25 points and 11 assists in that 2009-2010 game. So I think people are going to be interested to see how these freshmen play, how they play with each other.
And Cal switches up the team, so they mixes it up.
Yes, he does. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's talk a little baseball now.
Yeah, big news here.
Absolutely. One of the last pieces. John Cohen wanted it. Of course, Gary Henderson wanted it, and now Nick Mingione will get it. A new $49 million baseball stadium. It will start construction in February. That means it'll be open, be finished in the fall of 2018, ready for the season in 2019. About 4,000 seats. You can see they're going to have a berm area out there where people can be in the grass as well. Obviously, there's a lot of hospitality, team rooms as well, and the UK folks believe this is the next piece they need to have in place to make a move up in SEC
And again,
baseball.
where's it going?
It's going in between where the football training center is now and where the softball soccer complex is over at the Bell Soccer Stadium. So it'll be right there in that green space and probably use Commonwealth Stadium for parking. All right, speaking of Commonwealth Stadium and parking.
There's a game coming up.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night, Mississippi State. Can you believe that they're a team that's not a traditional SEC power? Kentucky's not won in this series since 2008. Yeah. They're always a club that gives the Wildcats trouble. Will that happen this year? I think that if Kentucky can run the ball, they're coming off that open date. Mississippi State is struggling right now. They've got no Dak Prescott. Okay, so they've got Nick Fitzgerald. He is no Dak Prescott. And so I think what they're going to be able to do is run the football tomorrow. That's what they've got to do. You see Prescott and what he can do for the Cowboys now? Well, State doesn't have him. And so you've got the 10th and 11th ranked offense in the SEC. Points are going to be at a premium. The Kentucky defense has to come up big. And speaking of defenses coming up big, maybe the biggest game in the SEC, Sam, and I show you this to point out how good Alabama is. Texas A&M and Alabama, the CBS game on KYT at 3:30 tomorrow. Okay. Alabama, it is number 1. Texas A&M is number 6. It's a 17-point spread. I mean, Texas A&M went into Tuscaloosa and won in 2012, but as they say, Johnny Manziel ain't walking through that door tomorrow. Alabama is really, really good. I think it could be the best game of the year in the SEC, but Alabama's still a double-digit favorite. 3:30 tomorrow on WKYT.
Many people think it's one of the best defenses they've ever had.
Oh, my
that says a lot.
6 different guys have scored 7 different defensive touchdowns this year for Bama.
All right. Buzz, always a pleasure.
All right,
Thank
Sam.
you. Ahead tonight here on the CW Lexington, an hour of Family Feud is next. Then at 8, The Vampire Diaries, followed by Crazy Ex-Girlfriend at 9. And over on WKYT, MacGyver at 8, Hawaii Five-0 at 9, Blue Bloods at 10, followed, of course, by WKYT News at 11. Now, students at the Madison Kindergarten Academy had a chance to thank first responders today in the school in Richmond. What a great job they did with this. Students serving lunch and desserts to police officers and firefighters from around the community. Teachers say it helps the students feel more comfortable around first responders. They say they are also teaching their students about serving in the community. All right, kiddos out there, if you're going to the ball games tonight or even tomorrow, pay attention to the weather. This man's the expert.
Well, yeah, that's right. I spent a lot of time and money becoming an expert.
I just stunned him when I called him an expert. Look at Dave.
I just never hear such.
Don't forget about the track tomorrow, too. Not only the game, all these people out at Keeneland.
That's right, David. When the people are
Gray
out there,
horse on a cold day. Remember that.
Just forget about it. He always does it to me.
That's Buzz. That's Jim. I'm Sam. We'll see you.